Hi, my name is Joseph Parker, WBO champion of the world, and you're watching Sporting Icons.
So Anthony Joshua's last opponent, which happened to be at the same venue as Joshua and Joseph Parker, the Principality Stadium, Cardiff, Wales, Carlos Takam, is saying that he's still very, very angry about the stoppage against Anthony Joshua. And of course, he's set to have his next fight potentially in May, which could be on the undercard of David Haye and Tony Bellew rematch, potentially against Derek Chisora. I think that's pretty much signed and sealed now. But anyway, this is what Carlos Takam had to say about his last fight with Anthony Joshua. I'm still angry. I'm very, very angry about it. I don't know why this guy stopped the fight. I was not hurt. I was okay. I asked Phil Edwards after the fight, why did you stop it? Why did you stop it? I want to see the referee again, face to face, and ask him again, why did you stop the fight? It was a terrible decision. The guy stopped the fight in the 10th round, and we still had 2 rounds. In those 2 rounds, I was going to give it everything. When I spoke to my coach in the corner, he told me before the 10th that I should go easy and save myself for the last 2 rounds. Then I would give everything to end the fight. I said, okay, let's do that. But then the guy stopped the fight, and I don't know why. I couldn't believe it. It was crazy. I knew in the last 2 rounds something was going to happen. Either I was going to be put down or he was going to be put down. But we were going to give everything. Why the referee didn't let us do that, I don't know. Carlos Takam's statement. So, yeah, okay, he's got every right to be upset about it. But if you was to look back at it all, okay, this was a very one-sided fight. And Anthony Joshua had already dropped Carlos Takam before that, earlier on in the fight, and he was bleeding for quite a few rounds. He was badly cut, and in sense, really, maybe the referee should have stopped it beforehand, right? But right at the beginning of round number 10, the referee got the doctors to check over Takam, and the doctor, the medical staff, quite clearly said to the referee, don't let him take any more punishment because that's going to get worse. He could potentially get blinded. So, of course, the referee had that in his mind. So, of course, when Anthony Joshua was starting to put some combinations together in round number 10, the referee said, right, okay, that's enough. Now, upon the replay, if you have a look, not too many punches were actually getting through. Carlos Takam was actually defending a lot of them. So the stoppage of the fight, yes, it was definitely dubious. But let's be honest, he was never going to go on and win that fight. He had no power left in him. He had nothing left. Anthony Joshua was getting stronger. So all the talk of Anthony Joshua gassing out, he was actually getting stronger as the fight was going. Even Joshua said after the fight, I don't know why that was stopped. I wanted to see him on the floor, gladiator style. Just like the fans. All the fans wanted to see Carlos Takam laid out. If it went to points, it went to points. But, you know, let's be honest now. Takam was never going to beat Joshua. The only thing that was potentially going to happen was that it was going to go 12 rounds. So, yes, maybe they took a chance away from him for being the first person to go 12 rounds with Joshua. But in this grand scheme of things, a loss is a loss, right? And the referee did it to save Carlos Takam. A lot of people say it was a screw job and they question it all. But the same people who question it all and say that it was dubious and what have you are the same people who are defending what happened with Deontay Wilder and Luis Ortiz, saying, well, no, that shouldn't have been stopped, or, you know, yes, the referee was right to give him extra time, or they're not even talking about it at all. They're totally skipping over it. So it's a bit two-faced, really. But let's be honest, Carlos Takam was not going to beat Anthony Joshua. There's no way that was going to happen. Yes, maybe he could have went the full distance with him, but he's a fighter. He's not going to know what's best for him in the heat of battle. Of course he's not. He's going to be very bitter that he didn't have the opportunity to go 12 rounds. I don't blame him. I don't blame him at all. But for me, it was the right stoppage. If anything, I think the fight maybe should have been stopped before that. But that is what it is. It's all in the past now. Carlos Takam is currently the sparring partner for Anthony Joshua as well. And as I said, it looks like he could be fighting in May against Derek Chisora. We know that Derek Chisora is set to be on the undercard of Dillian Whyte, Lucas Browne, March 24th, with an opponent yet to be announced. But of course, there's also talk about Derek Chisora potentially taking on Joe Joyce on the Bellew Haye rematch undercard. So not too sure whereabouts in May these two are going to fight. I'm just presuming Bellew Haye rematch. and Derek Chisora against Joe Joyce is not going to happen. So maybe we're going to get Nick Webb against Joe Joyce on that one. So anyway, drop your thoughts below. I mean, yes, it was a bit of a dubious stoppage. You could certainly see that. But I don't blame the referee at all. Carlos Takam is now fit enough to fight another day. That's one way of looking at it. And like I said, the medical team got into the referee's ear and said, you know, this is getting pretty bad. So if there is any kind of corruption in that fight, I think it's pretty safe to say that Joshua was not in on it because he was unhappy about it being stopped too. And the fact that I don't believe the referee was in on it. If there was like somebody to blame, it was the medical team, which again, I think that might be a bit unfair. But drop your thoughts below, click that thumbs up, subscribe, shout out to the A-Side Boxing community. Catch you next video.